Show you how to actually start the project. We're going to do the center. You have to do the very center first, and that's called the snail. So you can see, well, first of all, I have 3 different products here that I have used all 3 of them. And when I first started out, I used the fabric fuse, which I like. It does leave a little bit more of a film on your fingers, so it's a little bit harder to get off. And the second one that I've used is the glue based it. I really like that one because when you coil to begin with, you put the glue on here and you wrap it like this, it almost immediately sticks. And with the fabric fuse, you have to put your pins in here and have it hold that position for about 5 minutes before it stays in that position. Then the most recent one that I've used is this water-soluble tape. You can use the regular Kimberbell tape or any paper tape that you can stitch through. Because this is water-soluble, it does have a sticky back to it. I really like this one. So I'm going to show you how to use this. But like I said, it's the same set of directions no matter how you start the center. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it in an angle. That just gives it a little bit more of a good start without fraying. So I'm going to cut a piece of this water-soluble tape. I try to stay in the center of my camera here because my camera is above me and I can't see what it's filming. So I guess first I should start the coil. So I'm gonna wrap this just a little bit so it holds it together. I'm going to trim it, and then I'm going to trim it there. Then I'm going to start wrapping this way. Actually, I'm going to use 2 of these products. I'm going to use the tape so that my center stays nice and together. And then I believe I'll use the temporary baste-it spray or glue, just because, like I said before, it dries a little bit faster. This is actually the refill bottle. My small bottle is someplace in the closet. I just saw this one first, so I grabbed it. This does dry clear. I'm going to flip it this way and I'm going to put a little bit more glue on it. So we'll run a bead of glue down that center of the back side of that rope and then continue to wrap it as tight as you can. Now remember, that's water soluble. So we will be able to wash that out when we get farther into the project. Actually, you could wait till you're all done. I need a little bit more. You want this center coil to be about 1.5 inches. It's definitely over 1.5 inches. So you can see this is the very end of where I started to twist the rope right there, even though it's inside of that, you can tell. So I want to count my rows. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 on that side, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this side. So I'm just going to unwrap that just a little bit because I have to stitch down the center here to hold this together, because if I put this under the needle right now, underneath the presser foot, it would come uncoiled. So then I'm going to take a couple of pins and I'm going to push them in there and I'm going leave them in there until I get it under the machine and get it started. So maybe one more on this side. Whoop. I'm not left-handed, I'm right-handed, so I guess I should turn it around and do it with my right hand. Okay, so there it is. Now I'm going to shut the camera off and rearrange it, and then I will be back underneath the sewing machine. So now I'm going to show you how to stitch down the center, and that will tack that center because, like I said, it wouldn't stay together if you tried to start your zigzag right there. As you can see, I took a Frixon pen and I drew a line down the middle and across. That's the where I want to stitch. This is an erasable Frixon marker, but also if I touch it with an iron, that will come off. I don't always do that, but I wanted to make sure that I stitched straight for the demo. And I have the machine set at a straight stitch right now. I'm going to lengthen the stitch just a little bit here. Default is 2.4 on my machine. I'm going to put it at a 2.6. And I'm not going to wear my glove just yet. I'm going to start in the center because if I started out here, you can see the back of the foot drops down, and it would probably hesitate right there. This is the way. So I'm going to start in the center, because later on when you do your circles and you change colors, you do want to have the same amount of rows on each side. So first I'm going to stitch in place. So I pushed my stitch in place button, and for whatever reason my machine's not coming on. The foot's not plugged in all the way. I'm going to try not to hit that pin. So I'm going to come all the way down. Push the reverse and go back to the center, and then continue to go all the way back to the other edge. When I get to the other edge, I'm going to come forward again, try to stay on the same line. You can notice I have my clear foot on with the little red arrow. That little red arrow when I start to zigzag is very helpful to see where the center of the two ropes is, the ditch of where the two ropes is at for your zigzag. And the other adjustment that I'm going to put on is on this machine, when you stop, the foot will automatically come up and the needle will stay down. And that's helpful to have a machine that does that. So if your machine does that, I would use that if I were you. So first thing I'm going to do is go backwards. And then come back to the center and go straight forward. I do believe I'm going to run over that pin, so I think I'll take it out. And on that last row, I just want to catch one stitch, put it in reverse, and stitch it backwards to the center. And then I'm going to tack it in the center. See, my foot came up automatically. Trim it. And there I have a nice stitch in the center. I'm going to trim all of these off. Take my other pin out. And now we're going to start our circular. is I'm going to put a little bit of glue on this. You can see I cut it at an angle, and I forgot to put the lid back on this. So therefore it's got a film over the top here. I'll see if I can get it back open. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on there just to kind of hold those little stringy pieces together. And then I'm going to wrap a small piece of, actually maybe I'll cut that in half. This is the water-soluble tape. There's multiple ways you can join tape, colors, and I'm still trying to figure out the best way. So there you can see that that's going to hold that in. I'm going to cut that angle back again, and then I'm going to stitch, I guess I still have my gray on, so I need to change back to my red. So I have my red back on, and I only need to stitch a little bit here, but I didn't really want to do that in the gray just because I'm trying to show you how to do it, how I did the other roll, or tray. So I'm going to back stitch, lock stitch, whatever you want to call it, and then I'm going to come up real close, a zigzag here, and I'm going to zigzag across that and back up just a little bit. This is a new method that I have recently tried that works pretty good for joining rope, since I discovered that I have this water-soluble tape. And again, the reason why I like that tape is it holds those frayed ends together. I'm going to switch back to the gray thread, and then I'll come back. So I've decided to try a little bit different method of joining here. As I said before, there's lots of different ways that you can join the rope. I'm still searching for the perfect way. This is my Soline glue pen. So I'm still going to leave the bottom with my water-soluble tape on there. And now I'm just going to put a little bit of this glue stick. Doesn't have to be a lot because I just want to kind of keep those ravelly ends at bay. So I'm going to put my glove on until I get started here. So I'm going to put the rope, I'm going to lay the gray rope a little bit beyond that red one. I'm going to set it down. I'm going to stitch in place. And zigzag back over that a little bit. Whoop, it was supposed to go in reverse. And then I'm just going to make sure don't pull on either one of your sides here. You want to just let it glide in there and go. Whoop, bumped the camera. You want to let it feed in naturally without pulling on it at all. You're not going to pull on it until we get to the very edge where we need to start building it up. I am stitching at an angle here because of the camera, and believe me, it is extremely hard. I'm sitting at an angle, not stitching at an angle. So what I'm going to do when I got back here to the beginning, I'm going to trim that a little bit, and then I'm going to cut this at an angle. And you can see that's going to be a pretty nice join. It won't be real bulky, like sometimes they have a tendency to get a little bulky. And right here again, right at the edge of that rope, I'm just going to reverse it a little bit over that section and then continue to go on.